Sandra, should we get underway?
Yeah, I think that would be great. And as people come in, we'll let them come in. And yeah, thanks for starting the webinar.
Great. Well, good morning, afternoon, everyone who's joined today. Very happy to see you have joined this special seminar on Clean Air Day. So welcome to the special event. The title, as you can see there on the screen, is Practical Steps to Eliminate the Open Burning of Waste. And of course, it's taking place on Clean Air Day. And those that may have seen the statement by the Executive Director of UNEP this morning, she specifically raised the issue of open burning of waste. It's been a critical one for Clean Air Day. So that was terrific to see. My name's Donovan Story. I'm the waste expert at the Climate and Clean Air Coalition at UN Environment. I've put in a little link there to CCAC. So CCAC is a partnership of over 160 governments, international organisations and NGOs working to reduce short-lived climate pollutants. So you can see the link to our work there, so please take a look at what we do. We're very fortunate today to have three speakers to inspire us on some keywords around the title today, and I would really focus on those issues of practical steps, which we'll focus on through some examples from the ground of actions that have been or need to be taken, but also on issues around of eliminating open burning of waste, because that ultimately is our goal. So, and this is a very important commitment, I think, for the international community. Why open burning on Clean Air Day? Some of the things I've mentioned, but clearly open burning of waste and uncontrolled burning of waste is a result of our failure to collect, separate and treat waste. It refocuses really our attention to these gaps and the consequences of these gaps in waste management systems globally and the impacts that it has on our climate and health. Waste management is a critical issue for global air quality. It may have surprised a number of you to read on the advertisement for today that an estimated 40% of all waste globally is openly burned on landfills and public and community land and in private spaces. It's an extraordinary statistic that almost half of the waste produced globally is openly burned. This is leading to a public health crisis, and it's a killer of millions of people worldwide. And unless urgent action is taken, open burning will accelerate as a crisis for clean air, particularly in the context of ever-increasing waste streams, in particular e-waste and toxic waste streams. If open burning continues as an important strategy of people that lack services and infrastructure, it'll have even more hazardous consequences for us all. And so open burning of waste should really be on our radar, our global radar. And we've got three speakers today that will help us understand why and what can be done. We'll start off with Hazel Ingen, who's the Senior Manager of Engineering X at the Royal Academy of Engineers. Hazel will introduce us to the partnerships and efforts to eliminate the open burning of waste globally. We'll then be focused on practical steps. So Bhave Sharma, who's the Senior Program Management of Air Quality at World Resources Institute in India, will talk on their work, WRI's work, to understand and measure open burning in India and Kenya. And then we'll turn over to Papa Idrissa Diani, who's the Climate Resilience Officer at Practical Action in Senegal. And Idrissa will focus on really the actions and the experiences on the ground in Senegal and what has been done. We'll then have around 20 minutes for Q&A. We'll open the floor. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions and comments. And then we'll wrap up with perhaps going back to some key points if there's time. So really excited about today's event. I'm going to pass over now to Hazel to get us underway. Hazel, welcome.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Donovan. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Just to echo Donovan, I think it's so important that the CCAC is hosting this webinar on Clean Air Day for all of the reasons that Donovan has said. So yeah, just to say thank you so much for holding this event. As Donovan says, I'm going to start us off by speaking briefly on a multi-stakeholder partnership that we launched last year, and which we're actively looking for more partners to join. So if you take one thing away from my presentation today, is that please get in touch. We're looking for more people to come and join us. This is really about collective action when we're talking about these complex issues. I think it's also really important to reiterate Donovan's point about how this partnership and how Ensuring X has been working has very much been at the higher levels in terms of regional and international engagement. That's because open burning as waste in general has really been neglected from those global agendas. So we've really been trying to take that advocacy role in putting that up there. And I'll explain a little bit about where we've gotten to with that and how you can all join in. I'm then really excited to hear from Barbe and Papadrissa on what they're doing on the ground. This is all about practical steps and all of the different levels that we should be operating at. So for a bit of context, we came to work on open burning a few years ago following a report that we published in 2021. And since then, we've raised this with partners like the International Solid Waste Association, CCAC, at a side event at COP26. We're really pleased that since then there's been increasing traction on open burning. And with COP27 taking place in Egypt last year, we really focused our efforts on Africa. As I'm sure you all know, this is a region that is critically affected by the issue and where poor air quality is linked to 1.2 million premature deaths annually. Last year at the 18th African Ministerial Conference on Environment, or AMCEN, there was a landmark resolution signed by 54 ministers to end open burning by 2040 and to promote the use of waste as a resource for value and job creation. This is really important as well, because I think solving open burning is also about creating new things. It's about livelihoods, it's about jobs. So yeah, just to put that in everyone's minds as well. So with this commitment to action from ministers, we launched a multi-stakeholder partnership at COP27 to support the implementation of the AMCEN decision. And this is with United Cities and local governments of Africa and with the UN high-level climate champions. We see this partnership as a key mechanism in finding ways to deliver this commitment. Eliminating open burning by 2040 is a really ambitious target to set, but given how severe the impacts of this are for the climate through short-lived climate pollutants and the health impacts, it contributes to millions of premature deaths. It's a commitment that we need to find a way to meet and to find ways to mobilize quickly. So here is a bit of background on this partnership. It's currently co-chaired by AMCEN and UCLG Africa, and Engineering X and the UN High-Level Climate Champions are providing interim secretariat support. You'll note from the brilliant array of logos that we have on the screen that we've really tried to bring in a range of different actors, including the CCAC, who are committed to delivering this work. Our partners represent industry, youth, Gaia's on there, who brilliant, such passionate advocacy at a grassroots level. We've got NGOs, civil society, and local governments, all with this idea of convening different players working at different levels around open burning. To join the partnership, there's a pledge that each partner has committed to, and this is all around taking action and raising awareness. And we see the partnership really as a hub where we can convene and coordinate different approaches to tackling open burning, much in the way that the CCAC plays this role for various different action on short-lived climate pollutants. Today, to shout out some of the work we've been doing, we had a side event at Africa Climate Week, which was really well attended, and it wasn't last year, so I think this shows progress. And we heard from partners speaking there on how essential collaboration is and the steps that they've been taken as part of the partnership to help meet the AMCEN commitment. This was things from Airtel talking about e-waste disposal, all the way through to practical action talking about work on the ground in Kenya. I can see Sandra's come on, so I'm going to rattle through the last bit. But just to say, please join us. This is an important partnership. We're looking for players. We've recently been awarded some funds from the CCAC to work with Practical Action, UN Habitat, and more around regional roadmap developments. And this partnership will play a critical role in that. So please get in touch. Donovan, I'll leave it there rather than talking about the grants to save time for other speakers, but we can come on to that at the end. Thanks very much.
Should I start? Yeah. Yeah, thanks. You're on mute, Donovan.
Oh, Donovan, we can't hear you.
No. Yeah, you're on mute.
Thank you, Hazel, for that summary of the global partnership, and I'd really also encourage people to join. I think it's fantastic, and hopefully we'll have a chance to come back to it in terms of the grants and other opportunities to be engaged later on. Bhavé, we'll now head off to really trying to understand open burning, and I know that WRI have been doing a lot of work in India and beyond, of course, on understanding open burning and particularly measuring open burning and creating methodologies by which we can assess open burning. And I think that's very, very important in terms of the impacts that we want to have on the ground, is to understand the reasons behind open burning and also understand how and where open burning occurs. So over to you now. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Donovan, and thanks, Hazel, for the great presentation. I hope you can hear me. Great. So I'll start with one of the presentations I have made. I hope you can see it, but I can't actually see you guys. So just let me know when something happens. And thanks for inviting. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for inviting for the talk. And I'll just start with, I'm Bhavé Sharma, and I work in the air quality department or air quality team of WRI India. So I'll speak about two of our projects where we have applied this methodology that we have developed over the years and identified the impacts of waste burning and even identification of emission levels that the waste burning creates in our society. So we started with the Surat Clean Air Action Plan. Surat is a city in Gujarat, one of the states of India, and the Clean Air Catalyst project, which is a global project that we started in 2020. It's a USAID project. I'll talk more about that. So the two cities that I was talking about, it's the Indore, where we are doing the Clean Air Catalyst project, and Surat, which is on the western side, where we are developing our clean air action plans and actions on ground. So I'll start with the Surat Clean Air Action Plan. It started in 2019, where we had a stakeholder workshop. In that stakeholder workshop, we identified that there are multiple sectors contributing to air pollution, and waste came as one of the waste burning came as one of the major sector that actually contributes to air emissions, specifically particulate matter also. Then we released the Surat Clean Air Action Plan later on, which is now adopted by the city and local government. Then the next project is the Clean Air Catalyst project. It is funded by USAID. It's a 5-year project where we are, so WRI is co-leading and with Environmental Defense Fund. So it's a 5-year project where we are working with local city, the Indore city, where we are supporting them in research and root cause analysis and identification of different sources. And then we are going to work on coalition building and also some on the solution side, specifically on transport. And again, waste burning is one of the aspects that we will touch upon in that project. So yeah, why waste burning, how it started, just an inception. We had one workshop in February 2020 in Surat, where we invited local municipal corporation officials, rag pickers, sanitary officers, sanitation staff on ground. Therein we had a couple of someone.
Sorry, if I'm looking.
Yeah,
I found it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. No, totally. Yeah. So we started with the stakeholder discussion. Therein, we realized that while discussions were happening on many points, waste burning, since we did a recce of the city also, the waste burning came up as a prominent activity that actually contributes to the air pollution in the city. While doing the literature survey also, we realized that waste burning, initial waste burning incidents, they were causing almost 10% of the waste burning, to the air pollution in the city. So we realized that, we spoken with the municipal corporation, we spoke with the rag pickers, we spoke with local street sweepers also. And then we thought that why not we should start working on identification of how much actually waste gets burned in the city. So this is a methodology that developed by Nagpur, Dr. Ajay Singh Nagpur in 2015. Basically, what happens is you travel. This is a transit map. This is a transit. You actually walk along the road and you notice the incidents on either side of the road. Then this methodology tells us that you actually travel in different directions. You cover all the land uses, be it residential, commercial, industrial, or mixed land use. And then you travel for 3 days in the same transit, morning and evening, because when the most of the incidents actually happen. Then you come to the conclusion. So this is the transit that we did in Surat city. As you can see, we have covered almost, transit 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we have covered most of the wards or the land use patterns of the city. And the small dots you can see, these are the waste burning incidents that we have found during our transit walk. You carry a GPS device in which you record your transit direction, your transit walk, distance, and also notice the waste incidents on ground. So these are some of the photos that our team has actually gathered during the transit walk. As you can see, almost all the land use patterns have been covered in these areas. This is a pretty, high socioeconomic status ward or locality, and you have medium also. As you can see, some lower residential areas also. We also covered some industrial areas. As you can see, these are pretty high burning incidents, as you can see in the area. And we have done this for 2 seasons, summer and winter. Similarly, in Indore, we have covered the transit. We have done the transit for the whole city and covered all the land use patterns. But in Indore, the next part, we took it to next level where we covered the rural areas also. And we conducted some surveys along with the transit study. We spoke with people, what are the issues. So this transit not only actually covers noticing the incidents, but also developing a questionnaire, identifying what are the reasons of waste burning happening in the city. We have actually identified that there are multiple reasons, be it collection frequency or the infrastructure reasons, or even behavioral reasons from people. Even the collection is happening, people, they just burn it because sometimes they have extra waste, so they want to reduce it. And these are some of the photos that we have taken in the Indore area or Indore city. So we have covered the summer and winter both. The next activity what we did is we spoke with the municipal corporation officials and the commissioner, who heads the municipal corporation. So we gave them all our study points, and they also agreed that waste burning is one of the activities that actually happens since newer wards are coming up in these cities, and they are also looking at incidents happening on the periphery of the city areas. Just to give you an insight also, so Indore city and the Surat city, they are the top 2 cleanest city as per the Clean India Mission survey, which is being conducted by the government of India every year. But we were still able to identify, the waste burning incidents in these areas. And recently, we also did one capacity building workshop for our WRI Africa colleagues, and under the Clean Air Catalyst project. There also we conducted a survey on ground. You could see children also playing near to the area, and some of the incidents actually. And those were pretty high incidents we could see on ground. So this is how actually you develop your profile. So you have the transit, and you how many wards that you have covered, and what is the land use these wards have. Then you also divide them into socioeconomic status and the distance cover. You'll not be surprised, but I'll just tell you that if you can see the difference between the incidents during the summer month and the winter month. Summer it's 108, in winter it's 198. So the reason that we could identify during winter season is that because of lower temperature, people used to burn a lot of waste for heating purpose. So that actually increases the number of incidents. And during night it's cold, and people who are staying outside, people who are staying in slum, or even the guards that are being posted outside the gated communities, all of those people, they contribute. And so this is the findings that we have identified. As you can see, I mean, this is the summer month and this is the winter month. In winter, as you can see, so Surat is an area where there are a lot of textile mills. So a lot of migrant laborers from outside the city comes to these places. And then that is why there's an increase in the industrial waste burning also during that time. Similarly, you can also see what are the components of the waste burning. Which kind of material that is present in that waste burning incident that you see on ground. As you can see, I mean, in summer, plastic, paper, even textile, lot of dried leaves during summertime. They are present in the waste burning that is happening on the ground. And you can also see that this shows how many waste incidents actually happen per square kilometer. So medium and low has higher incidents during the summer, but industrial also have higher during the winter month. So after that, what we did is we divided the whole city, Surat city, into different wards. And as per the land use pattern, we also identified what are the hotspots in the city where we have found a lot of waste burning. So as you can see, the dark blue color, these are the wards where we have identified a lot of waste burning incidents, and rest of the places accordingly we have attributed them. Similarly, we developed an emissions inventory for Indore city where we, as you can see, you can see the waste burning that is happening in a year. But you can also, this is a map of Indore city and district, but surrounded by two other districts, Ujjain, which is a pretty high tourist area, and Devas, which is an industrial area. Yeah, and you can see there are pretty high hotspots. These red markings shows you that a lot of waste burning happens in these areas. And so now the next step is that after the identification of these wards, we are going to work in one of the wards in the Clean Air Catalyst project, where we will work on basically the reasons behind the waste burning incidents, and then tackling them on ground, and also working on the awareness generation within the citizens and public. We also conducted some capacity building workshops for the municipal corporation officials in Surat area. Basically, we also discussed that what are the reasons that the waste burning actually happens on ground. We were also surprised to see that many waste burning used to happen, and the staff of municipal corporation, they were also contributing to these waste burning incidents. Basically, they didn't want to carry the load to the community bin or to a transfer station, so they used to burn it on the ground, especially the open biomass that is present. Yeah, so this is the last slide I'll talk about, and I'll close it. So the next steps we are doing in Surat, we have done the study again recently in summer and winter this year, and we were able to identify after the capacity building workshop and sharing the data with municipal corporations on the reasons and incidents where the activities happen. Municipal corporation also worked on ground, looking at in those areas or in those localities where the waste incidents were pretty high, and then they also worked on it, which which is actually positively showcased by our recent study that now there is a reduction in waste burning in these areas. So perhaps, I mean, that is what how we can actually generate the awareness within the municipal corporation also. In Indore, where the Clean Air Catalyst project is happening, so we are going to generate a waste burning white paper, and we are also going to work on ground directly with the municipal corporation staff, looking at creating some awareness generation, capacity building of this staff, and work identifying reasons and working with local people in reducing the air pollution, the waste burning incidents. The last point is, sorry.
Where you go with the last point?
Yeah, this is the last point. So we are going to work in 10 cities in India. So we are going to apply the same methodology and identify reasons. We are also going to develop one common methodology which can be applied to cities without us going into the field, while if that can be done by the different municipal corporation staff or local universities or students in itself. And this is our new product that we are doing. It's Accelerator for Clean Air Actions. Basically, it is Akash means sky. Yeah, so I'll stop here.
Thanks very much, Babak. I really enjoyed the interaction with municipal authorities and the way that you're able to use the research to inform them. I think that was really important. And obviously, your materials are online in terms of the publications of the methodology and the mapping. I think that on a seasonal basis and also by material is really useful to see, and I hope others pick up on that and learn from that methodology and improve our ability to understand open burning. So we're now going to pass over to Idrissa. Idrissa is very much working on the ground with practical action in Senegal and is going to share some of the experiences there. So over to you, Idrissa.
Yeah, thank you, and hi everyone. So thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to join this conversation, and I will share with you some of our practical solution we have on the field with our project here in Senegal. So we are working with two partners. It's Sonaget, the public organization that lead all activities related to waste management in Senegal, and also École Polytechnique de Thiès, which is a local institute of research that work a lot on waste management, recovery solution, and so and so. So this project name is improving human health and livelihoods through reducing open burning waste in Senegal. Next slide, please. Yeah, so first of all, what's practical action is doing for reducing open burning waste, next slide, is is part of our change ambition related to city, and our focus is on people, on recovery aspect, and also trying to make systemic change in general. Next slide. So as Hazel have mentioned, practical action is part of the multi-stakeholder partnership that work for eliminating open burning waste in Africa. So it's what we are doing at the global level, and at the local level, we are doing a lot of research. It's focused on Dakar, for example, like managing our waste report. And this kind of work allow us to get better understanding of gaps in waste management that lead to open burning. So we also try to share knowledge product with stakeholder and engage dialogue with them. Next slide. Yeah. So first of all, let's talk about the challenge. And through our study, we have identified some important challenge that lead to open burning here in Senegal. Next slide. Yeah. So first of all, I think it's mainly the amount of waste that come in the landfill. It's really important. You can see here some statistics. And in Senegal, we don't have a problem in terms of waste collection, but it's mainly the problem is about the sorting. The sorting rate is low, and also the landfill are poorly managed. We have there a lot of issues, and also when we focus on people working in different landfill, they have poor working condition, don't have, for example, proper equipment for individual protection, and also there are some gap in laws. For example, it's it's not authorized to open burning waste, but in the law, but in practice, we can always see that. So there are implementation gap at this level. And also, as for the main landfill, they are in the city, and with the expansion of the urban expansion, household and landfill are really close, and people are really affected by negative health impacts. Next slide. Yeah, so the impact are really important in terms of health. You can see in the landfill, there are a lot of people which is really vulnerable, like young, like elder and children also, and people spend a lot of money on health. So there are a kind of indirect cost of open burning waste at the local level. Next slide. And for the environment also, we have a lot of greenhouse emission coming from that. It's around.
Oh, accidentally, Papa Drusa, you went on mute.
And yeah, sorry. And I just said that we have a lot of problem in terms of environment. You can see also here some statistic with contamination on groundwater, emission of SLCP, like black carbon in particular. And yeah, next slide. And so, what are the solution we have developed for reducing open burning waste in Senegal? Next slide. Yeah, so as I said, it's related to this project funded by Engineering X, and it's for 2 years. Now this project just started 3 months ago, but we are at the implementation phase. Next slide. Yeah, so what are the main consideration for the design of this project? We take into account systemic approach and also human-centered approach, as it's really key. And also, as we are working in the landfill directly, we put more effort on learning and scaling up aspects. And innovation also is extremely important. And we also want to avoid creating new parallel system and try to build on what stakeholders are doing to improve the current situation. Next slide, please. Yeah, so for this project, we have mainly 4 components. The first one is about waste prevention and reduction. It's important to reduce the amount of waste that come to the to landfill. So we plan to do study for getting better understanding of behaviors of communities, and so identifying bad practice, and also doing awareness campaign. For the other component is related to health and safety. And for this one also, it's a study for better understanding also of health impact. And also we provide equipment and facilitating access to health insurance for informal workers. And also the other component is related to waste recovery. And for this one, we with our partner École Polytechnique Thiès, we will develop some. We will identify the most relevant valorization solution to a kind of waste characterization at the landfill level, and yeah, and for the last component, as I said previously, it's about capitalization and scaling up. And yeah, for this one, it's mainly knowledge product we will develop and try to share widely the main result of this project. Next slide. Yeah, so let's focus a bit on the solution about early warning system. For example, for this one, the idea is to have a kind of sensor equipped device that measures the air quality at the real time. The goal is to improve decision making for stakeholders at the landfill level. So we identify the most harmful gas, and also define a different level of alert, and also different and specific action for each one, and also define target and the most relevant dissemination strategy for each audience. And also, as it's a research action project, this tool will also allow us to have a database that can be used for doing various study and improve also our understanding of various gaps. Next slide. Yeah. So now, as you can see, for this project, we focus a lot on health impact. But I think it's also important to improve situation about the environment, and we believe that we have a really good space and room of improvement at this stage by reducing, for example, some emission. We have started reflection on those. We have started reflection on those different aspects, and trying to work with partners and to develop new project that will focus on enabling environment, how to improve policy in the waste sectors, and also in the finding access, and also improve practice. So we are at the thinking stage, and I think it's quite important to have another product complementarity with this one to do more and in this space. So other aspect we have identified as extremely important is it's important to invest more on research and knowledge on open burning waste specifically. We struggle to find really specific research and knowledge products. It's really important to do more on this aspect. It's important also to have more commitment from stakeholders at the local, national, and regional level. And I think this multi-stakeholders partnership is a really great initiative. Also, we really need to identify for each solution the main success factor, and also encourage and the scaling up. And finally, make more funds available for the implementation of initiative to contribute to eliminating open burning waste. So that was some aspect I wanted to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Idrissa. Thank you for that. I'm going to open the floor now for those that would like to ask questions, either specific questions to each of the speakers or maybe some more broader ones. Before I do, I'll just take the floor myself. I'll take the opportunity before the questions come in. Idrissa, one of the things that really struck me, because it was so community-based, your research, was that did the waste pickers themselves offer solutions to the need to burn waste to create livelihoods? So today, I noticed there was obviously a very large collection rate, but a very poor separation rate. And obviously waste burning is a primary strategy, well, one of the strategies that waste pickers are using on landfills. Did they themselves identify what could happen through the waste management system, which would mean that they needed to use burning less as a strategy? And then I'll just allow others to raise their hand. Sandra's just reminded people to raise your hand or type in your question to the chat. But I'll start off with that question, Idrissa. Thank you. I've scared him away.
Idrissa.
It's one way of getting out of a question is just to disappear. I think he'll come back on in a minute, but we had a question. I think it was, sorry, I'm just going to check who the question's from, but please take the floor. I think it was just someone put their hand up, so please take the floor.
Orlando.
Oh, Orlando, please take the floor.
Morning, and thank you for the presentations. I apologize, I had some connectivity issues while in transit. The issue of waste imports, have you covered that during the presentations? Because if you did, I missed that, because that's also part of the whole equation. And also, that's one question. The second is at the beginning of the presentations, the statistics about 40% of waste is burned. Is it domestic waste, or does it include also, let's say, agricultural waste? So, thank you.
Any one of the speakers, please jump in and respond to Orlando as well. Thank you.
I guess, Donovan, the 40% part you have to, then I'll do it.
Yeah, so one of the problems with statistics, Orlando, is that agricultural waste burning is much less understood. So this is in terms of municipal solid waste, more so. And I think from Bave's presentation as well, there was a really interesting interaction of both commercial burning and domestic burning. So he can perhaps answer the sources of waste as well, which he referred to in the study, and I think he's very generously provided the links to the methodology as well. Bave, do you want to elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. So that study was done, developed. The methodology is developed by Dr. Ajay Singh Nagpure. I'll type in the whole name, and you can also find out. I have also put a link to our study, to our report. basically you can also go through that report. In annexures in Surat Clean Air Action Plan, you will find how the study has been actually done on ground. But the inputs, basically, we have done it for the municipal solid waste only, but we haven't looked at the commercial part or, the other day, Donovan, we were discussing about the commercial burning also. So we haven't covered that. But what is happening on ground, so we also looked at the collection system. What are the reasons behind, the reasons that are contributing to leading to the waste burning in different places. So all in all, we have covered that, and the incidents parts and the questionnaire-based survey provides us that what are the reasons, the inputs of the waste burning, and also what are the reasons leading to waste burning, and how they can be actually corrected. So this is the whole summary I can give.
Okay, thank you. And just a short follow-up. For example, something like, battery recycling, where you have, people informally recycling, let's say, spent lead acid batteries, open burning in their backyards to melt the lead. Is that considered part of waste burning, or is that considered then an economic activity in your approach or statistics?
No, we haven't looked at the lead acid battery part. Basically, in India, you can replace the lead acid battery if you want to buy the new one. But yes, there are informal settlements where this commercial usage, informal commercial usage happens. But we haven't covered.
Okay, thank you very much.
Because many
Thank
times,
you.
so just to give you some one more insight, covering the incidents on road and nearby areas, it is fine. But if you go into the vicinity or some neighborhoods where there's some risk, so we also tend, get aware about these specs. You can't go inside someone's house also, or some commercial complex. So those we were not able to cover. But whatever visible, on road, or even you can see it from far away, we have definitely covered.
Oh, thank you.
Sandra, I saw that you had your hand up.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed the presentations. And Idris, I just wanted to check, are you still there?
No, he seems to have dropped off. I think.
Yeah,
connected.
yeah,
Oh.
I'm here.
Oh, good.
No, he's
Oh,
come
you're
on.
here. Oh, good.
he's
I
here.
have
Oh, he popped up.
I have a question for you. I was also really taken with the information that you shared, that there is a very high rate of collection, and that it seems like one of the big problems is the separation, the source separation. And so it seems like really an opportunity to try to start a project to figure out, a play, all the steps you need to be able to separate out the waste. But I was also thinking, it seems like such great awareness raising opportunity. And does the private sector in Senegal have an interest in helping you? Because it seems that the government has really gotten organized to collect the waste, which is a huge challenge in most countries. And so would the private sector be willing to help you share more with people about the importance of the next step, basically?
Yeah, thank you for your question, and I think it's really interesting to talk about this aspect. For example, in Senegal, the collection rate is high because in the collection rate we have the formal way, and we also have informal aspect and informal worker that are doing a really good job in terms of collection. So for the sorting, generally we used to do it at the landfill level, not at the house level. That's where it's challenging, and of course you know that if it's most relevant and most cost effective to do the shorting before, and that help for expense less in recovery. So, and I think we really need to do an important job in terms of awareness campaign directly with communities, and they should know why it's important for the environment and why it's important for them also to make more effort and short the waste. Generally in household, we come to see just one bin, I think, for throwing waste. Generally, we can't see 2 or 3. Generally, it's only one. People used to put together organic waste, plastic waste, and so on. So it's really important to have a shift at this level. Government are trying to do more on valorization with some important project like Promoter. And here also we have dynamic public private sector, but I think we still need to work with them and identify more opportunity that are in waste recovery, and trying to do this shift on the mindset of different community. That's my point of view, but definitely we really have a room of improvement at this stage.
That's excellent. And it was super interesting. Like, I would love to talk with you more. I just want to let Donovan know there are some comments in the chat, and I don't know, Bhushan, if you would like to weigh in here. I see you and Bebe and Lucy and Neil have made comments. I don't know if you want to start us off, Bhushan.
And Neil's made, sorry, go and push it. Please go ahead. And then Neil's made a really interesting question there about fuel. And maybe I know that came up in Babe's research as well, particularly the winter burning versus the warmer months burning as well. So, but Bhushan, please.
No, I was just making a comment. I felt the 40% waste is openly burned kind of figure was kind of high. Considering that the World Bank report, Water Waste 2.0, which was published recently, said that 1/3 to 40% is actually not managed properly, which have been dumped or burned. So a lot of it is dumped, really. So that probably would be a lower figure. And I know in Nepal itself, studies done in Nepal also do quote a low figure, although it is, it does create air pollution. We know that, but then 40% just seemed a little high, and I was wondering if there's more reference to that. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Bhushan. I'll put up some more data and statistics on that as well, because there is also some interesting regional data on Africa, which came through AMCEN, the ministerial conference, AMCEN 18 in particular, which put quite a high figure for Africa as well. So, yeah, and the point's well taken. I think that one of the things that's really come through today's discussion is it's very, very poorly understood in terms of open burning waste, in part because of the issues of illegal burning, commercial burning, obviously agricultural burning is very poorly enumerated. But I think that point is very well made. Neil, would you like to speak to your point, or are you happy for? I'm happy people just to pick that up in terms of the strategy of burning as a fuel replacement or as a heating replacement. Thanks. I'll just open the floor. So we've got another couple of minutes left. So it'd be great if we could address that before we wrap up.
Yeah, definitely. I can take it. So yes. So whenever the cooking is happening in the open area, we have considered it. But many times people actually cook inside. So there's no source basically identifying. Going inside, it's not a good thing, and it creates security issues also. So we avoided that. But what we have done is there's another methodology that we have worked on, basically calculating emissions in rural areas and in slum areas also on the cooking fuel. So in India, what is happening is we have in cities we have LPG collection, liquefied petroleum gas cylinders, but in slum areas they also utilize biomass or waste, municipal solid waste. So we have done calculated it in waste burning where it is available, but in cooking separately. So that is the link I have already posted.
Thank you. I think all of the speakers and organisations have been hugely generous there. There's a whole range of resources, and I hope that people can get into those, because I think there's some fantastic materials, which really, I mean, the purpose of today was really to get open burning on the clean air agenda and on the waste management agenda as well. I really thank the speakers for doing that. Hazel, I don't know if you wanted to take the floor one last time to talk about those opportunities to engage, and then I'll pass back to Sandra to wrap up.
Thank you so much, Donovan and Bhavi and Idrissa. Just so excellent to hear more about the projects that you've been working on as well. I would just say I will share or via Sandra share the email to contacts if you're interested in joining the multi-stakeholder partnership. I feel all of these different presentations have just pointed to the fact that collaboration is key at all levels, and I think that's really what this partnership is trying to crystallize. So my final call would just be to do that, please. Thank you so much.
A great final message. Hazel, Bhavi,
Definitely.
Papa Rajusa, thank you so much. Sandra, would you like to say goodbye to everyone as well?
Just to say thank you to everybody. Clean Air Day is a really big moment for us in the year to raise awareness about the climate and health and benefits from reducing air pollution. And we are at the CCAC are going to be driving a pretty concerted effort over the next 2 years to really raise awareness about these multiple benefits and look for these practical solutions. So thank you all so much for joining today, and go spread the word about clean air and climate and all that our government needs to do and that we can do to help our government take the right action. So this is really everywhere in the world, and really appreciate these examples from India, from Senegal, and a brief mention of Kenya, and really look forward to working with you in the future. So thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks very much, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for.
Thank you,
everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you.